This ecom store pays us 3.5K a month, but they're making over 3.4 million in annual revenue from organic search traffic. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we achieved that. Before we started, they were not ranking for anything, and now they are beating Amazon for their most competitive search terms. So if you want to know how it was done, all the details that went into it, and also if you want to know what's the number one mistake most ecom stores get wrong with SEO that stops them from getting the results right before the results start to kick in, I do recommend that you watch this video. So let's get straight to it. So here in this screen, you may have seen this before from my previous videos, but their overall annual revenue, according to Google Analytics, is over 26 million US dollars, and 13% or over 3.4 million from that is coming from organic search. So this is Google. Also now, as AI is playing a bigger and bigger part, AI traffic is also in huge increase. Organic search and AI traffic are huge, in high correlation. We do focus on both, but at the time of doing the video, recording the video, organic traffic for e-commerce stores is way more important. It converts better, and there's just so much more of it. So quickly, what I'm going to cover is what we do exactly, the entire SEO strategy, how much they invested into SEO in total, how much did their business value grow from that, and how much revenue brought them during that time, and they're still with us. The main lessons learned, and can you replicate this in your niche, or how to know if you can replicate this in your niche. So here's a screenshot from a video I did 2 years ago about the same client. This is where they were at that time. So we started working with them in 2021. And at that time, they were around 83,000 organic visitors per month. That's 2 years ago. You see here, July 19th, 2024. Now, roughly 2 years later, the results have started to increase. So this is where when I did the video, again, started in 2021. You can see their traffic is over 150,000 organic visitors per month. Most of it is coming from the United States, as you can see here, with UK and Canada being the second and third countries. And also a key thing here is that most of this traffic is non-branded. So what it means is that these are people that don't already know them or did not type their brand into Google, because we can't take attribution or we can't take credit for if somebody's just searching for their brand name, because then they already knew about the business and it wasn't really SEO's doing or the SEO strategist or SEO agency's work to get them that traffic. So we don't want to count for that because it's not our doing. We don't want to take credit for that. Anyway, yeah, most of the traffic is non-branded. So this is what you want to get for your store as well. So now going to part one, what did we do exactly? The entire SEO strategy. And the most important part of any SEO campaign that we do is to figure out what are the main gaps or what's actually needed to be done in this particular niche. Before we do that, we actually try to understand, is SEO even a worthwhile marketing channel to invest into for that particular brand, given the niche, given how much the products cost. This is usually the first analysis that we do for our clients, because we don't want to work on clients, or we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste anybody's time. And by saying that, I also mean that we don't want to waste our time either. Because if SEO is not worth doing, then we don't want to work with you for 3 months, 4 months, or for however long, and just be embarrassed at the end because there are no results. We want to avoid those situations because there are so many businesses, so many e-commerce stores where SEO could be a game changer, a huge driver of growth, a huge driver of revenue. So why not focus on those stores and just tell the other stores, sorry, maybe you should invest elsewhere because SEO is not the channel for you. So the first thing is SEO even worth doing? And the second thing is to devise a strategy. And in order to devise a strategy, we usually invest 5 to 10 hours into figuring out what are the exact steps that we need to take the store that we're working on from here, where they are right now, to the top. And to do that, we just look at who's currently at the top and what are they doing? Like, why are they at the top and why is this store here? And then we can figure out the gaps and then create a resource allocation plan, like you can see here. For this particular project, the things that we saw was that the biggest brands ranking at the top were mainly ranking based on having dedicated pages or having optimized pages, targeting the most searched keywords. And then once they had these things in place, they had a lot of authority. So authority comes from backlinks. I'm going to talk more about backlinks later in this video. But anyway, the point is that this is just references or mentions of your business on other websites. And then, of course, a little bit about like technical SEO, just fixing anything that's broken. Usually there aren't that many things, but if there are, then it's just a small thing to do. And then a quarterly check to make sure everything is working well and then go from there. But yeah, overall 80-20 or even more than 80% goes into backlinks or authority building in this given niche. It's not always the case. Sometimes you don't even need any backlinks at all. That's why you need to do the analysis. So analysis comes first. So the step-by-step plan that we had was, as again, we did a quick niche potential audit to figure out if SEO is even worth doing in this niche. And by the way, we do a limited number of these for free every month for potential clients. If you want, you can go to redbat.agency/audit and request yours. We only do 20 per month right now. So yeah, first come, first serve. And we might say no to you if we don't see that you're a good fit. Anyway, that's besides the point. Sorry. Yeah, so the first thing is to figure out, is it actually SEO worth doing? And the way we do those audits is we just look at your most important keywords. The example here is protein powder. Just an example, it's not tied to the case study. I just want to show you how we do it, like a general high-level overview. And we want to see what are the most important keywords, what are people typing into Google or AI to find the products that you're selling. And in the case of protein powder, it should be pretty understandable for everybody, is that if somebody's typing in protein powder, they're looking to buy protein powder or research about protein powder. And we see here, we want to look at like how much or international revenue there is. or how many people per month are searching for these topics from the countries where you deliver your products to. And for protein powder, the global search demand is almost 600,000 just for this one keyword. And the search volume in the United States is almost 200,000. 200,000 people per month are typing protein powder into Google or AI. And the trend is growing. This is also something we're interested in. So we want to see, is there actually demand? The second thing is we're looking at who are the current top rankers for the main keywords like protein powder and how much traffic are their domains getting. So Quest Nutrition, they're getting almost 100,000 visitors every month to their we also look at like how high is their domain authority. Premier Protein gets almost 200,000 visitors every month from SEO. So I want to understand, is it actually possible to get traffic and what's the potential? Like how much are the top dogs, so to speak, getting per month? So this is 200K a month, so it's 2 million visitors per year. So what's the potential? Here's another one, 153,000. So yeah, we look at the top competitors and what's the potential. And then we run the numbers. So if the organic traffic potential is around 200K a month, and if the average order value is $50, and let's just try to be conservative here, because with most stores, like if somebody finds you and they're happy, they're going to buy again, depending on the product, but in most cases, they're going to buy again, like with this case study as well. They are closely monitoring the customer lifetime value, and they're working to increase it because they're adding more products, they're adding different products, increasing the range, so that people keep coming back and buying again. So we're not looking at customer lifetime value, we're just looking at average order value here. So let's say for protein powder is $50, and then we apply the industry average conversion rate, which is depending on the niche, but for protein powder, I think for protein powder it's even more, but if you're conservative, it's 2.5%. So 2.5% of people searching for protein powder or similar topics convert into actual buyers. And then if they are buying, the average order value is $50. So from here, we derive the annual revenue potential. And that's, in this case of protein powder, it's 2.73 million. But I'm just giving some super conservative numbers here. Of course, this number is way bigger for protein powder. But just giving you an example of how to do it conservatively. Because we want to see what's the financial potential for getting organic traffic or traffic from SEO in a given niche. And then I'm not stopping here. I'm also looking at, because if you're doing e-commerce, another goal that you should be thinking about if you're in it for the long haul is to increase your company value, because you might want to, probably you are interested in selling your e-commerce store at one point, or even if you're not, just raising the value of the store. So what I'm also looking at is, let's say that they are able to grow from basically 0 to 2.73 million per year in revenue. How much would the company value or the value of this e-commerce store grow? Because they could sell the business. So let's say right now they're getting 0 and then like in 2 years time, 3 years time, or maybe even sooner, they're going to get to 2.73 million. How much would the value of the business grow from doing SEO? And the average, for that I look at what's the average profit ratio to company value ratio. So EV/EBITDA, which just stands for what's the average number that people pay for your business. So let's say your company is making $1 million in profit per year, then the average value comes down to be 5. EV/EBITDA, the average rate, I'm going to use 5 here. So if you're making 1 million per year in net profit, an average buyer would pay 5 million for your e-commerce store. Just average ballpark numbers here. And now if we took the protein powder example, let's say the gross margin in selling protein powder is 50%. And from here, we can take like the extra annual net profit from dominating their niche with SEO is over 1.3 million. And if the company value multiplier is 5, then the extra company value added from SEO is over $6.8 million. The people that are in it for the long term, that are the e-commerce store owners that are looking to sell at some point, they're super interested in it. And also, if you do have SEO channel working for you, it will be much easier for you to sell your business. Because otherwise, if you're only relying on influencer marketing, social media marketing, and paid ads, it's not as consistent as SEO is. And the buyers know that. If somebody has 6 million or 10 million, whatever, to pay for your store, they're usually sophisticated and they know that. So if they see that your store is generating 2.73 million per year or like whatever, like millions a year or even 500K a year from organic traffic, they're going to be much more interested in buying the business because they know that they have an additional marketing channel that's consistent and usually it's growing if you're investing into it. So yeah, these kinds of audits, we do a limited number of these for free every month. So 20 audits if you want. So here's the link again. I'm going to now move on to the next thing we did, which was that we did a full strategy audit to figure out the plan of attack. And the key focus is to figure out the 80-20 that moves the needle the fastest. And this is the same thing I showed you before. So this is the strategy audit. And based on the audit, although only 1% goes in technical SEO, we still want to cover this space the first. So see all the issues they have with technical SEO and fix the errors ASAP, and then have a recurring quarterly check. Actually, we do it monthly, but like quarterly, we do a more in-depth check to make sure nothing's broken, because technical SEO, they can hold back your rankings. They don't usually drive your rankings, but they can hold back your rankings from the potential, reaching the full potential. So this is just like a maintenance thing we do. And it's boring, so I'm not going to talk that too much about it. The next thing was that we optimized their most important category pages, which is usually the biggest win for most e-commerce stores. And if you want to know more about this, how to do it, I talk about it in our ebook or PDF that I give away. You can get it at this link here, redbat.com/main hack. Also on our website in the footer, I have a link to the same hack. But the idea of the hack, or the main point here, is that you have to figure out what are your most important category pages, and then you need to optimize these. So if you take the example of Gymshark, the example of their collection page is their tank tops page for men. So it's a collection page, I can see here from the URL, tank tops. This page needs to be optimized, SEO optimized, to have the highest odds of ranking. So that's the first step, right after you figure out what are the most important keywords and pages to optimize on your site. And this is usually not that hard to figure out. Like if you're not selling that many products and you don't have that many collection pages, you could do all of them. But if you have tons of different collection pages, you should start from the most important ones, which have the highest potential, or you think are your best selling products or categories. So optimizing collection pages, super important. Then the next thing we did was that we created new category pages to generate some quick wins and fast money for them, because we want to prove the ROI of SEO ASAP. Otherwise, the clients are going to leave, because they say most clients do understand that SEO does take time, but if we can get them results faster, they're going to stick with it for longer term. And the more they invest into SEO, the longer they keep doing SEO, the more it will compound. It's like compound interest. And the way we create or help them create category pages is that we do some keyword research. So in the example of Gymshark, they do have a workout sets page. The page I'm referring to right now is workout sets for women, and they have this page, but then we're looking at what else are they ranking for that they don't have a dedicated collection page for, but where they could have a dedicated collection page. And if they had this dedicated collection page, they could generate a lot of additional traffic. So in this case, people are also searching for cute workout sets, which is a subset or could be a subcategory under workout sets. So all the workout sets that we or the client thinks are cute could be added to this new collection page that we could then optimize. With the title Cute Workout Sets, it will also be in the URL, and also we will apply other SEO optimizations to the page. And then by just having this page, because most competitors are not going to be doing that, by just having this dedicated page for cute workout sets, the odds are high that we're going to rank high for that page. And the monthly search volume is 3.9 thousand. So 3.9 thousand people are searching for this thing every month in the United States alone. And the ranking difficulty is just 4 out of 100. So it's not that hard to rank for. So these are the easy wins. Whereas workout sets is much harder to rank for, although it doesn't seem like that right now, but it is, because there's just so much more demand here and so much more competition. Another thing we could do is another category page for matching workout sets, size workout sets, seamless workout sets. These could all be separate category pages. And this is just for workout sets. They have so many other products like tank tops I showed you above. So this was a huge finding, or not a huge finding, but a huge thing for them, because this got them early SEO results and proved that this can work. And this is a viable channel. Once you pick up all the low-hanging fruit and eat them, you can then reinvest the money that you made from the low-hanging fruit to start going after the harder to rank for keywords, and then compound your results from there. Then another thing we did was we helped them optimize their site structure, and it's actually not that hard. The main point is that you want to have your most important collection pages in your main navigational menu. So let's say if Gymshark is interested in selling their tank tops, they need to add the tank tops collection page or category page to their main navigation menu here at the top. But they have it here. Although it's simple, it's not that easy to do, and you just have to put focus on it. You just have to make sure that you have your most important pages in the most prominent pages on the website. The next thing is that to your homepage, I also recommend, or it's best practice with SEO, because your homepage is always the strongest page, to add your most important categories to the homepage itself. So like Gymshark here has. One thing they're promoting is their airport outfits, and this is, I think, the first one here. Yeah, this is their airport outfits collection page. They're promoting it from their homepage, and this will make it much easier for them to rank for airport outfits keyword. And now, where 85% of the work had to go to, or is still going in this niche, is building authority. So once you have figured out the pages you want to optimize and you have optimized them, then you need to add more fuel to the engine. And this is you can do that by building high quality backlinks to, especially to category pages. Because if you're competing Amazon and you are only building backlinks to your homepage, you're going to need to invest millions of dollars to beat Amazon in authority. Probably tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions. It's just really hard to do. Amazon is just a big brand. But what you can do, or what one hack is, that you, instead of building backlinks to your homepage, you build those links directly to your category pages. Because it's much easier to beat Amazon with category page links to a specific category page than it is to build links to the homepage. So here's just an example from a backlink from Shopify to a business, Rare Beauty. It's just a Shopify blog here, and they are referring to Rare Beauty, and this is a really good backlink for Rare Beauty. This will definitely raise the rankings for Rare Beauty. This is what we're also doing for our clients, building a lot of backlinks, high quality backlinks. Also, another thing we did was we helped to fix their seasonality issue. So their business is seasonal, and we helped to resolve it or just to make it better by recommending new products to add that they would be able to sell when it's not the main season for their main products. So we just did some keyword research and tried to figure out some products they could sell that there is a lot of search demand with SEO, but there's not that much competition. And then we helped them rank at the top for those new collection pages for those new products, and it worked. Now the second part is how much did they actually invest into SEO versus how much they earned from investing into SEO. And we're still working with them, so this is ongoing, but I'm just taking a screenshot or a snapshot from right now. So their total investment into SEO has been $169,800. And they started out investing a bit less. It was like when we started, our minimums were way lower than they are right now. It was about $1,200 or $1,000 per month, something like that. And then they raised it to $3,000 per month. These are quarterly numbers, so sorry that you can't see them that well. But the 9K here represents that at that time they were investing 3K a month, 9K a quarter, and then they raised it to 3,500, and where it's at or has been for the last 2 years, I think. Yeah, right now it's 3,500, so 10.5K per quarter. That's the total investment. And it might seem huge to you, but then like it's been almost 5 years we worked with them, so it's not that much actually. Especially considering how much revenue this has generated them, because they wouldn't just invest for 5 years in a row if it didn't make sense for them. It started to make sense for them pretty early, so that's why they kept investing. Yeah, so 168.9K, but the revenue from organic traffic generated in the same period is over $8 million. So the first image I showed you where it was like 3.47 million, that was 1 year. This is the cumulative number. It's not exact, but the ballpark is correct. So if you can see here, this is the green area here is the cumulative value generated from SEO, and how it's measured is basically organic traffic from revenue from organic traffic and seen from Google Analytics, which is connected to their Shopify account, which gets their actual revenue numbers. And here underneath, you can see the total investment cumulative, which is in red. And then the blue numbers are the quarterly SEO investment versus how much revenue they have generated from this. And another thing that we're also interested in is the enterprise value added, or the company value added from getting these numbers. The revenue from organic traffic, 3.47 million. And then if we look at how much of that was actually non-branded, because part of this is branded. So people that already know their brand, that they type their brand name into Google. So we can't take attribution for that, although a lot of people that find them through SEO will then later return through paid ads, through retargeting. So a lot of attribution is lost from SEO. A lot of attribution is lost to paid search, different paid channels, and different organic channels even, because they first discovered the business from it through SEO, and then it was easy for the other channels to grab them because they already knew about the brand. But anyway, if we take this number from here, if you're serious about your store, you should also think about these things, is that I'm looking at how much of their overall traffic is non-branded. So 22K divided by the total of this, it's 15%, and which means that 85% of this number here is non-branded. So people that did not know about their brand already. And if you multiply this by 50% gross margin, this means that in the last 12 months, they earned almost $1.5 million in revenue from organic traffic. And if we take the same company value number, which is 5 times annual profit, we see that the enterprise value or the company value added from figuring out SEO or getting SEO to work is over 7.3 million. So company value added via organic traffic, 7.3 million. Gross profit from organic revenue generated throughout working with us, 4 million. So total value generated is over 11 million. They are in a huge niche, a competitive niche, and they got there by not investing that much actually. So yeah. And also they also started investing a lot into other marketing channels, which helped a lot. But then again, they got the budget to invest into other marketing and to double down on other marketing as well from getting the money from SEO, because SEO was the first channel they got working well and in a profitable way, which then funded their other channels. So they could pay the influencers, they could pay or buy ads on different channels, test with ads, and then scale from that. These are real numbers. This is how companies actually grow to be huge companies and are able to sell. This is how e-commerce stores are able to sell for 5 million, 10 million, 30 million even, if they have different marketing channels working for them with high ROI. And now one more thing is that what if they stopped investing into SEO today? So with paid ads, if you stop doing paid ads, traffic just, let's say you are growing and scaling with paid ads and you stop doing it, let's say it's not profitable anymore or for whatever reason, the traffic drops to zero. But the nice thing about SEO is that the huge downside with SEO is that it takes time to get it to work. Usually with new stores, it takes 5 to 6 months to see results. With stores that are already existing and have been around for a few years, it takes way less, but still it does take time. But the upside is that if you are willing to invest the time, and because time's going to pass anyways, but if you are willing to invest the time, then even if you stop doing SEO, and what I'm assuming, I'm dragging out the chart here, the previous chart I showed you above. So let's say they stopped doing SEO, they drag down the investment to zero. What happens usually, based on our experience, is that they're still going to grow for the next 6 months, usually more, but I'm trying to be conservative. They're still going to grow from all the work done before for the next 6 months, then they're going to flat out for the following 6 months, and then they're going to decline. Usually the decline is between 3 to 5% per quarter, but I'm going to use 10% to be super aggressive. So that's what I'm going to estimate, even if they stop investing today. So same chart before that I showed you before, this is where they are right now. Let's say they have stopped investing. They haven't, but theoretically, the value from SEO is still going to grow, although the exponential growth is going to stop. As you can see here, it's not exponential anymore. Otherwise it would go like that. It's going to flat out, but still the ROI is just going to compound. See here, the investment stopped. So that's the power of SEO. Whereas with paid ads, if you stopped investing, it would drop to zero straight from when you stopped investing into paid ads. So that's the power of SEO. That's why I like doing it, and that's why a lot of brands benefit from it. But the only ones that actually benefit from it are the ones that are willing to invest and willing to stick with it for some time in the beginning. Now to the last part, which is the biggest lessons learned. The first lesson was that the biggest wins came from correctly diagnosing the one gap that mattered for this business and not doing everything. Because with SEO, there's a lot of people saying that with SEO, you need to do everything. But if you look at your competitors, and that Amazon is a competitor, and then somebody tells you that you have to do everything, does it mean that you have to do everything that Amazon has done? It's going to take you 30 years and $30 billion. So yeah, I would argue that you would need to figure out what are the biggest gaps, what are the lowest hanging fruit, and start from there and compound from there. This is what worked for this business. And this is what we usually do, because from there you can devise the resource allocation plan to only focus on the most important parts in the right order. So in this case, the order was technical SEO, optimization work, and then backlinks. Lesson number 2 was that category pages, optimizing category pages and building links for those, especially for the ones where there was a lot of search volume, was where most of the money was hiding. So in the example of furniture, sofa beds, this is a category page. If you are a furniture store and you're selling sofa beds, you need to optimize, you need to have a category page, and you need to know the best keyword to rank for it, which in this case is sofa beds, so Koala knows that this is the right keyword, but their page is not optimized. You can already see it from this image. It doesn't matter right now, but then you need to figure out, like, is there actually traffic potential, or is there demand? And if there is demand, go and start doing everything you can to rank in Google, to rank in AI, to get AI to recommend you your products for the collections where there's the most amount of demand, or where it's the easiest to rank. Ideally, you do both and start from the low-hanging fruit and then go to the higher traffic, higher competition ones, which would be sofa beds. But yeah, this is where most of the money was hiding in their particular niche. And this is usually the case with most e-commerce stores. Lesson number 3 is SEO can compound massively, but only for the brands that don't throw in the towel before their results kick in. Most brands do pull the plug at month 4 or 5 because they haven't seen the results. They just tip their dough into the water and, oh, it's cold, they're going to run away, as an analogy. So yeah, but the biggest successes we've seen are the ones that are able to stick it out. But most businesses do try SEO and then they stop after 4 or 5 months if they don't see meaningful results. But that's a huge mistake, because if you want to really win with e-commerce, with your e-commerce store, you need to think in long term, like think in 3 to 5 years or 3 to 10 years. If 3 to 5 years is fine. And if you, let's say you want to have an exit in 3 to 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years, then it would be wise to start investing into SEO and start compounding it if you haven't paid that much attention to it. Or if you have, but it's not, basically haven't done anything for you. Just doing SEO for SEO's sake won't work. You need to do the right things. So the compounding is real, but only it really rewards commitment. So you can see here, like, if you look at this chart here, like, this is where most businesses quit doing SEO. And this is what you could achieve by investing into it. Of course, it's an extreme example, but still, even if this is what you could achieve, like this part here, still massive. Total investment, 90K, revenue generated almost 3.2 million. So yeah. Lesson number 4 is that you can beat much bigger competitors in your particular niche if you have a good strategy and focus. So this client of ours that we did this case study on, they managed to outrank Amazon, which was one of their biggest goals with the SEO project, and other huge brands in the United States. If I named those brands, you would immediately know them. But where it all started was the first step, which was the niche potential analysis of their store. And this is just a simple analysis that we do before we know if a project is actually worth taking on. So should this store even invest into SEO? Because not all stores should. Sometimes the competition is too high. Sometimes there isn't enough search demand. Then you're better off investing the money elsewhere, because we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time either. And the niche SEO potential analysis, like what it will usually answer for us is that, is SEO even worth doing in this particular niche? What's the potential annual revenue in this niche from SEO? And what's the potential company value growth from doing SEO? Of course, these are just ballpark numbers, but they are not wrong. The ballpark is correct. And we can have pretty high odd hypotheses or ideas from doing this analysis. And who are the current top rankers and how much are they making from ranking at the top? So if you also want to get this audit, just go to this link here. Yeah, you can click on it because it's a video, but I'm going to leave it to the description and to the first pinned comment as well. So it's easy for you to get that. And how it's going to look, it's a 5 to 7 minute Loom video like this one here, where I explain all the things that I mentioned here, me or one of our team members. And yeah, it's free, but we only do 20 of these per month. So basically 1 every day. Just due to time constraints. Like we can only take on 3 clients per month, 3 new clients. And we need to serve our existing clients. We need to retain high quality. So that's why we don't do an unlimited number of these audits. Like we are a team that focuses on quality. And that's why we really limit the clients that we speak with and work with. And it's going to be personalized to your store and your top competitors. And again, like 5 to 7 minutes. Usually we deliver these in 1 to 2 working days. And you won't see or receive any follow-ups afterwards, because I don't want to be a pushy guy. And let's say, hey, so what do you think about it? It's fine. Like, get the audit. You care about it. If you don't care about it, that's fine. No hard feelings. Just wanted to give you this information. Also, we learned something about the niche. And yeah, if you want to talk about it, if you want to take the next step, then you can just reply and we can go from there. If not, no problem. Also, I'm going to add you to our weekly email lists that just gives high quality tactical SEO tips and tricks from what we see in the industry, covering different videos about different top players. I just did a video on Gymshark, and I've done a video on IKEA, like what are the biggest players in the world doing with their SEO. You can unsubscribe anytime, just 1 click. Again, the link to request it is redbat.agency/audit. And again, we may refuse doing these for stores that do not qualify. So you're not guaranteed to get one. Also, it's only going to be 20 per month, so you might be full and out of it. Sorry if that's the case. Then what you can do is just keep watching our videos and maybe try to get it the next month if you're interested in it. Thank you so much for your attention, and all the best to you at growing your store.